Alba Longa appears in Roman tradition as the most important city of Latium before the founding of Rome and was regarded as a sacred centre from which Rome itself ultimately descended. The city was said to have been located southeast of the Tiber River in the mountainous region known as the Alban Hills. Ancient writers described Alba Longa as stretching along a long ridge on the slopes of Mount Albanus, and for this reason it received the name Alba Longa, meaning Long Alba. In Roman tradition, the city was considered the second great settlement of the Trojan lineage in Italy. Aeneas first founded the city of Lavinium, and later his son Ascanius, also known as Iulus, moved into the Alban Hills and established a new city. Alba Longa thus became the principal centre of the descendants of Aeneas before the rise of Rome. For the Romans, Alba Longa was not simply an ancient town but a sacred place marking the early beginnings of their own people. According to Roman tradition, the founder of Alba Longa was Ascanius, the son of the Trojan hero Aeneas. Ascanius was regarded as the first true ruler of the Trojan descendants in Italy. After ruling for some time at Lavinium, he is said to have realized that the population had grown and that new lands were needed. He therefore founded a new settlement in the Alban Hills, in a higher and more defensible location than Lavinium. Alba Longa became the new political centre of the Trojan settlers in Latium. This foundation was seen as a major turning point in Roman tradition because the ancestors of Romulus and Remus, the future founders of Rome, were believed to have lived there. One of the most important aspects of Alba Longa was its role as the starting point of the royal line that eventually led to the founding of Rome. After Ascanius, a long line of kings ruled Alba Longa. These rulers were often collectively known as the Silvian kings, a name derived from Silvius, the son of Lavinia, and a descendant of Aeneas. Silvius was regarded as the ancestor of the later Alban kings. Roman historians recorded long lists of these rulers, including figures such as Aeneas Silvius, Latinus Silvius, Alba Silvius, Attis Silvius, and Capus Silvius. This royal line eventually led to the brothers Numitor and Amulius. From the family of Numitor came Romulus, the founder of Rome. Because of this genealogical connection, Alba Longa was regarded as the direct ancestor city of Rome. Alba Longa was not only a political centre but also an important religious centre for the peoples of Latium. The sacred sites in the Alban Hills were of great importance for the Latin tribes. On Mount Albanus there was a sanctuary dedicated to Jupiter Latiaris, one of the most important gods worshipped by the Latin peoples. Representatives of the Latin communities gathered there for common religious ceremonies. These rituals symbolise the shared origins of the Latin peoples. Even after Rome became dominant, the Romans continued these traditions. Roman consuls regularly climbed the Alban Mount to offer sacrifices. This continued practice shows that the religious importance of Alba Longa survived long after the city itself had disappeared. Before the rise of Rome, Alba Longa was believed to have exercised political leadership over much of Latium. According to Roman tradition, many Latin towns accepted the authority or leadership of Alba Longa. This made Alba Longa the earliest and most powerful kingdom of Latium. Since the founders of Rome were believed to descend from the Alban kings, the Romans regarded the city with great respect and saw it as part of their ancestral heritage. The destruction of Alba Longa was said to have taken place during the reign of the Roman king Tullus Hostilius. As Rome grew stronger, rivalry developed between the two cities. According to legend, instead of allowing a full-scale war, the conflict was decided by a duel between 3 Roman brothers and 3 Alban brothers. The Roman champions were known as the Horaci, while the Alban champions were called the Curiati. After a fierce struggle, the Romans emerged victorious, and Alba Longa was forced to submit to Roman authority. Sometime later, Alba Longa was accused of betraying Rome. The Alban leader, Metius Fufetius, was said to have failed to support the Romans properly during a military campaign. As punishment, the Roman king Tullus Hostilius ordered the destruction of Alba Longa. The city was completely demolished and its inhabitants were transferred to Rome. In this way, Alba Longa disappeared from history as an independent community. However, the transfer of its population contributed to the growth and strength of Rome. Many noble Roman families later claimed descent from the people of Alba Longa. Although Alba Longa was destroyed, its memory continued to live on in Roman tradition. The Romans regarded themselves as descendants of the kings of Alba Longa. The belief that Rome's origins went back to Troy through Alba Longa became an important element of Roman identity. This tradition was especially emphasized during the reign of Augustus, when Rome's legendary past was used to support the idea of Rome's divine destiny. The exact location of Alba Longa is still uncertain today. Archaeologists have identified several possible sites in the region of the Alban Hills. Some scholars believe that Alba Longa may not have been a single compact city, but rather a series of settlements spread along a ridge. The ancient descriptions of the city as stretching along a long hill support this interpretation. In Roman mythology, Alba Longa was seen as a bridge between past and future. The descendants of Aeneas, who eventually gave rise to Rome, were believed to have lived there. For this reason, Alba Longa was not simply an ancient settlement, but the central stage in the story of Rome's origins. To the Romans, the history of Alba Longa represented the beginning of their